normal snacks to class parties. One mom said Mrs. Pierce had threatened to sue when her kids' birthday cupcakes were brought to the school, even though her daughter wasn't even in that class. I screenshotted everything and kept digging, using the library's access to public records databases that most people didn't know existed. That's when I found the gold mine. 3 separate lawsuits filed by Mrs. Pierce against local businesses in the past 5 years, all claiming negligent allergen exposure, all settled out of court for undisclosed amounts. There was the ice cream shop that had to pay out when she claimed cross-contamination, the bakery that settled after she said they didn't properly label their items, and even a lawsuit against the movie theater for serving Peanut M and Ms. The pattern was so obvious once you looked for it, they'd find a business, claim exposure, threaten to go public, then settle quietly. My phone buzzed with a Facebook message to one of my fake accounts from someone named Lance Crawford, who said he was a journalist with the local paper and had seen my posts about the Pierce family. He wanted to know if I had any more information about these lawsuits, said he'd been hearing rumors for years, but nobody would go on record. I was careful with my response, told him I'd just noticed some patterns in public records, and thought it was interesting how often they seemed to end up in legal disputes. I sent him the case numbers for the lawsuits, but didn't give him anything that could trace back to me. Let him do his own digging and draw his own conclusions. 3 days later, I was at the grocery store buying milk, when I heard 2 moms in the next aisle talking about whether peanut allergies were even real, or just parents being dramatic for attention. One of them mentioned seeing something online about the Pierce family's lawsuit history, wondered out loud if maybe some people used allergies as a way to get at money from businesses. I pulled out my phone and posted from another fake account, a simple question asking if anyone else thought it was weird how many businesses in town had been sued for allergen exposure by the same family. The comments started flooding in within minutes, people sharing stories I hadn't even heard yet, connecting dots I hadn't seen. My mom walked into my room that night and saw me hunched over my laptop, asked what I was working on so intensely. The lie came out smooth and easy, told her I was researching community colleges since all my first choices had rejected me, looking at programs that might still accept late applications. She rubbed my shoulder and said she was proud of me for not giving up, that the Pierce family couldn't keep me down forever, and I felt sick about lying, but also weirdly proud of how good I'd gotten at it. My phone lit up with a text from Ella, saying she'd been thinking about what happened and something didn't feel right about the whole thing. She wanted to meet at the coffee shop tomorrow to talk, said she had some things she wanted to tell me about what she'd heard after I was suspended. Part of me thought it might be a trap, maybe the Pierce family sending her to get information about what I was doing, but another part hoped maybe she was starting to see the truth. I texted back that I'd meet her at 2 o'clock, already planning my escape routes in case things went bad. The next day, I got to the coffee shop early and sat where I could see both exits, watched Ella walk in looking nervous and guilty. She sat down across from me and immediately started apologizing for grabbing my arm that day, said she'd been caught up in the panic and didn't think straight. She told me she'd been noticing things since then, how the Pierce family seemed to have a lot of power in town, how Mrs. Pierce's daughter had bragged about getting me fired from my job, how the whole thing felt planned, somehow. I pulled out my phone to show her the fake accounts I'd been using, but then stopped myself because trusting anyone felt dangerous now. She leaned closer and whispered that Lance Crawford from the local paper had